What is up, Sexy Beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be doing the top 5 best wall weapons to have in Infinite Warfare Zombies, so let's go ahead and get this shit started. So I decided to make this list just in case anybody was wondering what are some really good weapons to have right off the bat. So here we go. Coming in number 5 is going to be the Banshee. So the Banshee is the first shotgun you actually see when you come out of spawn. Now, unupgraded and without any perks, this weapon really isn't worth it, so like as soon as you start the game, I would kind of avoid this weapon, but as you progress through the rounds and as you slowly start to get set up, like with more perks and everything, that's when you might want to grab this weapon. It's a really good shotgun. It doesn't have like a fast fire rate or anything, but it still is a pretty good shotgun. Once you get speed cola and double tap with this thing and you can actually upgrade it, it turns into a powerhouse weapon and it can actually save your life. In one of my games, I was using it on round 20 and it was still doing pretty good, and a lot of weapons in Infinite Warfare aren't that strong, but the Banshee is actually still one of those weapons that can still help you out later into the rounds. So if you really need a good shotgun, the Banshee is definitely one of them. Alright, taking the number 4 spot is going to be the M1, so I was really happy when I actually saw that they brought back the M1, and the M1 is one of the 2 weapons you actually start off with in spawn, and the reason I love this weapon so much is 1, because it's really cheap and it carries a lot of ammo, 2, it's a really good point weapon. You can just shoot the zombie a couple times, then punch him and just whore up points that way, and it's actually a really powerful headshot machine. Just aim for headshots, you're going to be good. And probably the most important reason is because one of the Fate and Fortune cards you actually start off with, I believe makes like for 50 kills, every sniper shot is a critical hit shot, and that actually counts with the M1. So you basically have this incredibly powerful combination just easily given to you. The M1 only costs 500 points, the Fate and Fortune card is basically free, and once you can actually activate that Fate and Fortune card with this M1, those two make for a very deadly combination. So if you just need to take out a whole horde of zombies really quick, just get the M1, get that Fate and Fortune card, and you're going to be good. And there's a couple other cards that actually go along with sniper rifles, and they all work very well with the M1. So that's just one of the reasons I absolutely love this weapon and think it's a great weapon to have on this map. And also when you upgrade it, it just turns into an absolute beast. And I would definitely recommend you at least try this weapon out and just play around with it a little bit. Alright, and taking the number 3 spot is going to be the Forge Freezer. Now, I don't know if you would technically call this a wall weapon. I'm going to call it a wall weapon because you technically do have to buy it. Well, it's not really on a wall, it's on a shelf, but you do technically have to buy it. So it's going to cost you 500 tickets, and to earn tickets, just play games, do some of the robots challenges, and basically just do a bunch of stuff around the map, kill some zombies. You'll eventually get a lot of tickets. You're going to need 500, which is actually kind of a lot, but this weapon is totally worth it, and you can actually upgrade it. So basically what this weapon does is when you use the right trigger, it's going to freeze all the zombies, and when you use the left one, it's kind of like a shotgun sort of thing, and it can actually burst them. Now, you don't have to use the left trigger to actually finish them off. You can finish them off with really anything. And I think even if you don't use it, they will actually eventually die out. So this weapon is just definitely a really, really good weapon. I think it does like an infinite amount of damage. It's always going to freeze the zombies. And if it doesn't do an infinite amount of damage, it definitely does a lot of it. So this weapon is definitely something that I would recommend, especially if you're going for far rounds or really anything. It's easy to get and it's extremely powerful, and especially if you're trying to do the Easter egg, this just helps you so much. And I believe there's a card that lets you have like infinite amount of ammo for a certain amount of time. This and that make for a really good combination. So if you ever get 500 tickets, I would definitely recommend getting this weapon. Alright, incoming number 2 is going to be the MV4. Now, I didn't know if I should do this one, or I believe it's called like the, I'm going to fuck up this name, the Valic or Voric or something like that. I kind of had to think about which one I actually prefer and which one I actually think is better, and I came down to the decision that I think this one is just a teeny tiny bit better. This weapon reminds me an awful lot of like the Commando mixed with the KN-44. That's kind of the vibe I get from these 2 weapons, and this one is extremely powerful, it carries a lot of ammo, and it's just an all-around good weapon. Like with the Banshee, it's only really good up close and personal, and doesn't really give you that many points, but it can kill some zombies. The M1 is good from far away, good for headshots, not really good up close, and the Frost weapon is just good for taking them out really fast, but it's really not that good for points, and eventually you're going to run out. So I feel like this weapon is just an all-around great weapon. It's powerful, it carries a lot of ammo, you can kill zombies from up close, you can kill them from far away. So this weapon is definitely something that I would recommend if you're playing with friends, or if you just want to whore up a bunch of points and also kill zombies, and not feel like you're going to die every 10 seconds, this is definitely your weapon. And even when you upgrade it, it's still just as badass. You really don't need any perks like you do with a Banshee or anything to actually make this weapon good. It's good all on its own, so this is an all-around just fantastic weapon. Alright, and taking the number 1 spot, this took me a while to actually think of and which one I actually wanted to go here. I decided that the Evo SMG deserves to be number 1. I love this weapon. I am a huge fan of SMGs, especially SMGs with fast fire rates, and this one has that, and this one is very, very powerful. I think it's one of the most powerful wall weapons. Scratch that, I could even probably say weapon in this game. When I first started playing Infinite Warfare Zombies, I was going through all the wall weapons, upgrading them all, trying to see if there was any decent one, and when I actually came across this one, I was like, okay, this is a great weapon. It's very, very powerful. The only downside is It's got a fast fire rate, so you might run out of ammo pretty quick, so I'd mainly just kind of keep this for taking out like a whole horde of zombies, and really wouldn't use it on 1 or 2 zombies. But even though you might run out of ammo, it's still a wall weapon, so you can always go back and get more, and this weapon is definitely the one that I always go for when I'm playing this map. I go straight to it, I grab it, and once I get it, I'm basically set. So those are what I think are the top 5 best wall weapons in Infinite Warfare Zombies. Now this could always change when like updates and stuff happen, but as of now, these are what I think are the top 5 best ones to have. Now you might have a completely different list, which is totally fine. Everyone plays zombies their own different way. So I'm very curious to know, what do you guys think are the top 5 best weapons to have in Infinite Warfare? So if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.